Good evening and welcome everybody to the River Bulldogs getting ready to take on the Cougars from Mankato East. Bulldogs coming in off a nice victory last weekend against Waseca. In the net for the Bulldogs will be Tiago. He played varsity last week against, who was that? Worthington, I believe. And we're just about ready to get started here. Von Bank, Burns, and Schaffler out there along with Schmidt and Dreheim. Cougars carry the puck in the zone, make a move around Schmidt. Dreheim there to help pick up. Now kicked up to Schaffler. Schaffler's going to have Burns out ahead. Flips it up to Burns just outside of his reach. Right idea. Just outside of his reach. And we get an icing call on the Bulldogs. Cougars look like they have 2 full lines and 2 extras. Bulldogs have 2 full lines and 2 extras as well. Maybe a couple more in there. A little lighter over there today than what I've normally seen with them. Von Bank will pick up the puck. He's going to try to get that to Burns, but Burns was leaning the other way as it was deflected. Now picked up by Dreheim. Dreheim works it over to Schaffler. Schaffler tried to flip that to Burns, not out of the zone. Now pushed out of the zone by Von Bank. Schaffler will pick it up against the end wall, or up against the boards over there. Cougars will dump that in. Telejohn in for Dreheim. Schmidt faked one way, gets it over to Burns. Burns gets it to Von Bank. Now picked up by Schaffler. Schaffler will carry in. Fans on that shot. Then he takes a big hit by Mankato player. Von Bank now has it. Mankato is really throwing the wood back down there. A couple of fans saying some of those hits look to be a little high. 15. I wonder, I'll have to get that program out and see who that is. He's just hitting everybody. Bulldogs have played Mankato quite a few times, so they're very familiar with these kids. See if we can get some names on some of them here as we go throughout. Second line out there, Gage Schmidt out there, Phelps and Placido. Evenson dumps that down. Placido to Phelps, back over to Placido. That one bounced right over his stick. And picked up by Telejohn in the neutral zone. Telejohn tried to get that up. 16 intercepts it. Now Telejohn has it. And the Bulldogs were able to dump it down. Schmidt down in the corner with Placido. Now picked up by Mankato. 16 carries it up. Carries it all the way down. Back check by Phelps. Evenson with the hit. Picked up by Gage. Gage now comes back on this side over to Phelps outside of his reach. And 7 dumps that down. Puck kicked down into the Cougar zone. Bulldogs off, and we'll get a touch-up. Offsides the call. 15 for Mankato is Peyton Wengdinger, sophomore for Mankato. Sophomore defenseman. Picked up by Grant. Grant will dump that down. This is the third line for the Bulldogs right now. Tisch centering Meyer and Grant. Dreheim fires. That one's deflected up into the rafters here. Evan Schmidt back out there as well. In net for Mankato is their senior goaltender, Colin Pierscala. Doing a little scouting beforehand. Actually talking to a mom that we are familiar with. Some of the Bulldogs saying both goalies have been ill all week to the point where they thought that they would need a skater to. And Meyer with the goal! Finish that thought in a minute. Meyer goes top shelf, glove side on the goalie, and puts the Bulldogs up 1-0 early in the contest. Bryce with the goal, goes top shelf. I'll finish with my thought quick. Both goalies have been sick, I guess, for the last week or so. came down to East maybe needing to have a skater play goalie today. They only have 2 goalies in their program this year.
Scoring for the Bulldogs, number 20, Bryce Meyer. The single assist, number 24, Evan Schmidt. That's Meyer from Schmidt for the Bulldogs at 3:08 for the first period.
Evan Schmidt gets the assist on that goal from Meyer. Puck pushed down, and we'll get an icing call on the Cougars. Big game today for the Bulldog varsity team, as this is a game that could impact or will impact section seeding as we get here going into next month. Burns over to Telejohn. Telejohn out of the zone. Evenson will dump that in. Bulldogs a touch up. Von Bank swoops in, knocks the puck off the stick. Gets it over to Burns. Burns gets it over. I'll tip up front. Burns got it over to Evenson, down to Schaffler, and Schaffler redirects it right into the goalie. .11:02 left. Bulldogs up 1-0. Don't have a scoreboard working today. Don't have the iPad. Sorry about that. Telejohn gets it up into the neutral zone. Von Bank will step in there. That one's chipped out into the zone. Icing, thought would have been called. Telejohn over to Burns. Burns out in the neutral zone. Now Schaffler deflects it. Von Bank will touch up, go in. Schaffler goes off on the change. Now 10 makes the move over to 12. 12 met by Burns. Skates around Burns, now turns it over to Draheim. Draheim gets it over to Burns. Burns over to Von Bank. Now Burns gets control of it. Gets it over to Draheim. Draheim will carry it back behind the net. Tried to get that out. Now Placido gets that up. Tried to get that over to Burns. And carried in by 18 in his zone. Tries to get ahead of steam. Turns it over at the center ice, though. Picked up by Phelps. Phelps will dump that back down. Carrying it around. I get caught in the boards funny back there. And now Gage Schmidt comes away with it. He's looking for a pass out. He'll chip it up off the glass. 9:30 left here in period number 1. Bulldogs up 1-0. Bryce Meyer goal. Placido loses an edge in the circle here. Schmidt jumps in, helps out, gets it over to Phelps. Phelps tries to center. He's met by 2 Cougars. Now Placido helps out, gets it over to Schmidt. And then Evan Schmidt was going to walk the blue line, but he lost the handle just as he was about to proceed with that. Bulldogs switch out their D. Kept in by Evenson. Evenson fires that one down. That'll trickle back down behind the goal line. Telejohn has it. He'll fire that one. That one deflects off the skates. And we'll get an icing call on East. .8:52 left here in period number 1. Shots are 3-0 in favor of the Bulldogs. Grant centering Meyer and Tisch. Meyer picks up the puck. Feed that one to the goalie behind the goal line. Now Grant will pick it up. He'll chip it back over to Tisch. That one gets past Tisch. Meyer will get chased now down in the corner. Icing waved off. Evenson will win the foot race. He loses the handle. 23 is there. Now Grant jumps down to help out. Tisch takes it away in the corner. Works it up behind the wall. Now he's going to have Grant ahead of him. Poked off of his stick, though. Telejohn picks it up. Meyer. Misplay on that one. I know he wants to get that one over to Grant because I heard him say, ah! Picked up by 15. And that one goes all the way to Draheim. Dreheim fires a howitzer over to Grant on the pass. And we'll get an icing call on East. Bulldogs have 3 sets of forwards going this period. And 2 pair of defenders going right now. Schaffler over to Dreheim. Burns back over to Schaffler coming down through the slot. Right idea by those boys. Now Von Bank has it. Loses it. Mankato tried to clear it out. Goes off of Burns' skate. Now Von Bank gives Mankato the business. Schaffler gets his skate caught in the skates. 16 makes a move around Dreheim, or 12 makes a move around Dreheim, and scores. Thiago made the initial save. However, Landon Watt was able to get that in for Mankato and tie the score up 1-1. 7:22 here in the first. Thiago made the save. I think it might have snuck under his arm. That has not happened much for Thiago this year. He has been rock steady in net, so it happens. Dreheim up to Schmidt. Now Gage has it. Push that one down deep. Give chase. Moore wraps it all the way around. Picked up by Dreheim. Dreheim unable to hold his own, so Bulldogs have to touch up. And then he'll dump it down. Gage Schmidt with a huge hit down in the corner. Put 18 right on his rear. Good shoulder-to-shoulder check. Now picked up by Telejohn. He'll push it down. And then Telejohn loses an edge, and we'll get another icing on the Cougars. That's got to be the 4th or 5th icing for Mankato so far early in this contest. Grant on the face-off along with Tisch and Meyer. Tisch pushes that over into the far circle. Evenson fires that one. That one's steered wide by the goalie. Puck up on the half wall. Meyer's down there. Grant's over there. Now Meyer gets taken out. Telejohn gloves one at the point. Drops down the circle. Meyer sets the screen. That one goes just off the goalie's left pad, or right pad. Tisch forces the turnover, gets it over to Meyer. That one bounces over his stick and out in the neutral zone. Evenson. Intercept the pass. Recollects. Makes a move around 1 at the red line. Makes a move around 2. Fires. That one goes off the post. And push back out. Telejohn. Back over to Telejohn. And he'll dump that down. And down into the Bulldog zone. 5:24 left here in period 1. Telejohn has it. Gets it up to Von Bank on the near wall. Pass in. 2 now picks it up. Loses the handle. Burns. Gets it over to Dreheim. Dreheim over to Schmidt. And push back down. Dreheim to Von Bank. Von Bank gets it taken away from him. Dreheim over to Schmidt. And Schmidt chips that one down. Bulldogs unable to connect on any stretch passes so far. Dreheim has it. Gets it over to Schaffler. Schaffler tried to go over near side to Burns. That one about 1.5 feet off the ground. Evan over to Evenson. Evenson tried to get that to Pasito. Pasito's left by 2 and push back down. Burns drops it for Telejohn. Back over to Von Bank. Von Bank unable to hold on to it. Picked up by Evenson. Evenson Struggling getting it through. Now Telejohn calling for it. Evenson still has it. Now over to Telejohn. Schmidt comes in. Burns will come away with it. He gets it over to Evenson. He's got Placido up front. And Cotton picks up the puck. He's got Mankato's goal so far. That one was intercepted. Now Placido chips that out to the red line. And then we got two Bulldogs who sandwiched each other. They went both for 15. And now Gage broke his stick, picked up by Phelps. Phelps will carry that one down. He'll fire, shoot. Oh, and he had that post. Picked up by Placido. He shoots. And the goalie makes the save. Now the official has something to say with number 4. Now the Mankato fans are chirping at the ref. Grant line is out there. Evan Schmidt and Draheim on the back end. Cross-ice pass in the slot, picked up by 18. 18 now carry it down. Makes the move around, loses the handle in the corner, picked up by Evan Schmidt. He takes a hit. Grant's down there to support. Mankato's definitely playing a heavy game so far. 2 now has it. He fires that one well wide. Thiago blockers that one right into Draheim. He's got Grant ahead of him. He'll carry it down, however. Lose it at the blue line, pick it back up, shoot, blocker save. And Mankato clears that one out, and we'll get a deflection on Grant's stick. So icing waved off. Schmidt over to Telejohn. Over to Von Bank. Schaffler will pick it up. Meyer takes a hit by 23. He'll go off on a change. Evan gets that up to Schaffler. Schaffler right to the Mankato D. Now back to Schaffler, picked up by 16. Now Burns pokes that over to Von Bank. Von Bank over skates it. Now he'll make a move around. He'll fire, shoot. Rebound out front. Von Bank gets the rebound. The goalie makes the save. 2:09 left here in period number 1. Von Bank line out there with Telejohn and Evenson. Schaffler fires on the faceoff. Von Bank now has it behind the net. Burns gets it down in the corner to Telejohn. Telejohn unable to hold it on the point there. Evenson will come down with 10. 10, fires, shoots. Thiago makes a glove save. .152 left. Gage Schmidt line out there. Evenson reverses course over to Telejohn in the near corner. He's met by 12. Now Telejohn fires a couple hits at 12. Gage fires a hit at 12. Now Gage works it up through the circle over to Placido. Placido's met by 4. And now Placido works his way through. That could be an interference, maybe. Phelps will carry the puck. Placido. Oh, he tried to get it over there. That was deflected. That one squirts through the slot. Gage backhands that into the corner, or in the half wall. Bulldogs unable to hold the zone. Now 4 will carry it out. He's met by Gage, and then Evan Schmidt gets taken out. I think 20 tried to hit Gage, and Gage returned the favor on that one. And now the Bulldogs are offsides. That's the one guy on this group that you're not going to knock on his rear too often. Gage can hold his own there. He is strong on his skates, that's for sure. Grant line out there, gets it over to Draheim. Tisch does. Draheim still has control of it. Carries it down around the net. 45 seconds left in period one. Grayheim reverses course. Grant centers it from the half wall. That one's intercepted. Now 18 will carry it down. Tisch comes back along with Evan Schmidt, picks up the puck, and then 3 Bulldogs overskate it. Puck still loose on the slot. Rebound, shoots. And Thiago makes the save. .26 seconds left. Schmidt and Evenson on the back end. Grant will take the face-off. Grant wins the face-off, gets it over to Evenson behind the net. Evenson fires it up, and then we'll get an icing on the Bulldogs with 18.2 left. Grant line still out there with 18 seconds left. Evan Schmidt versus a turnover. Gets it over to Tisch. Tisch flips that up to Meyer. Meyer will carry that over. 8 seconds left. Makes a move around one. He's going to have a chance. He scores! Bryce Meyer, goal number 2 with 3.9 left. Bryce has got the scouting report on this goal. He'll top on him. That's the second one under that top shelf there. 3.9 left here in period one. Bulldogs up 2-1 now. Bulldogs up 2-1. Shots 9-5. Both goals coming from Bryce Meyer. We will be back in 60 seconds from LeSueur. We're back for the start of period two. Evan Schmidt had the assist on Bryce's first goal, and Riley Tisch had the assist on Bryce Meyer's second goal. And we stand at 2-1 in favor of the Bulldogs. Mankato dumps that one in right away. Thiago slows it down from the boards. Picked up now by Von Bank. Von Bank makes a move around one. Carries it up through the neutral zone. Down deep. Still has it. Loses it up on the half wall. Now picked up by Smuter. Smuter will fire. That one gets deflected. 4. Deflects that one. Smuter will throw it in. Bulldogs touch up. Schaffler gets it over to Smuter. Back over to Schaffler. Schaffler to Von Bank. Von Bank now has it. Gets it over to Schaffler in the circle, bounces off of his stick. Evenson goes off the wall. Mankato now able to get it on neutral zone. Poked off of their stick. Von Bank centers that down the blue line. 2 has it. Loses it to Burns. Burns now has it. Lost in his skates. Picked up by Evenson. Evenson will carry it down. Backhand goes high. Bulldogs will have to get back a little bit here. Kept down by Gage. Bulldogs will switch out now. Centering pass out front. Gage down back behind the net. Gage now gets it over to Phelps in the corner. Telejohn. Back to Phelps. Phelps tried to feed that over to Placido, just a little bit outside of his reach. One thing I'm noticing is the Bulldogs are so crisp in their passes last week against Waseca. They're just missing those passes here today. They have the right idea. They're just outside of their reach. Leaving after the first was Tisch and Draheim. Grant, Brog is out there now on this line for this shift, along with Meyer. Brog's all alone out front. Meyer carries it around, fires right in the belly of the goalie, fires, goes top shelf. Telejohn now has it. Gets it back down low. Brog helps out, supports. Meyer down there now. He gets put up against the boards by 2. Brog tried to center that one, fanned on that. Now pushed down by Mankato to the defender. Kicked up to the top. Schmidt puts it back over to Grant. Grant corrals it, fires. Goalie will scoop that up. Bulldogs will switch out their D pairing. Evenson and Smooter in there. Grant line will stay out. 12:29 left here in period number 2. Evenson, he fires. That one goes off the Brog's skate. Tried to clear by Mankato. And now cleared out by Mankato. Icing waved off. Cotton, who has their only goal, picks up the puck. Tries to center, knocked down by Smooter. And then cleared against the wall by Evenson. Kicked out to the point. That one deflects. And knuckles into the net. Fluky goal for Mankato. It deflected up, straight up in the air, and then almost straight down underneath the crossbar and in on Thiago. And he's looking at it like, what the heck just happened? 2 fluky goals for Mankato. And we got a tie score, 2-2 here. 12:04 left. Can't wait to see that one on the camera later from behind the net. Von Bank line out there. Schaffler has it, loses the handle. Now Smooter will pick it up, loses the handle. Smooter touches up on the goal line, gets it over to Schaffler. Schaffler fires that over, picked up by the defender for
Assistant number 12, and number 10, Parker. As he guarded from lock in 2:56 of the second period.
Bulldogs out shooting Mankato 12-6, but the score is 2-2. Bank takes that one off the forearm. Centered out front, now picked up in the circle. Schaffler has it, gets it over to Burns. Burns is going to have a breakaway. He carries it down, fires, trying to go 5-0. Schaffler's there. Oh, what a glove save! Rebound was there. Schaffler just threw it right into the glove. Schmidt line out there. And Evan Schmidt-Telejohn on the back end. 23, centers it, picked up by Gage. 11, touch pass up to 23. Now Placido picks it up. Gets it over to Telejohn. Gage now picks it up. Oh no. They were on. Bulldogs called offsides on that. Gage tied up with 20 down here. Now puck's pushed into the zone. Placido will pick it up. Gets it out to Phelps. Up front, Phelps scores! Nice job by Christian on the patience and then got it right on Gavin's stick, and Gavin went right over the left pad of the goalie and in. Bulldogs back up 3-2. .22 left here in period number 2.
Scoring for the Bulldogs, number 2, Gavin Phelps. With the assist to number 4, Christian Placido. That's Phelps from Placido for the Bulldogs at 38 of the second period.
Puck out to the point, wrapped all the way around. Picked up by 4, centers it out front. All alone, 12 puts it off the post. 4 loses the handle, now picked up by Gage. He gets it up to Christian. Christian gets it over to Phelps. Phelps will carry it down. He's got 2 on his left. Chips it over. He was hoping they were there. He's a little behind. Telejohn wraps it back around over to Phelps. Phelps centers it into the circle. Picked up by 10, and he'll carry it down. 15 now has it. He'll dump it down. Mankato will go off on their do their shifting. Evenson loses the handle. Telejohn now has it, wraps it over. Nobody there though. Now Myers there. Telejohn now has it. Try to get that over to Grant. 10 makes a move around. Grant makes a move around. Loses the handle though. Now Grant will pick it up on the back cut. And he'll ice that one down. Icing waved off. 10. Over to 11. Over to 12. 10, 11, 12. Grog takes down 12 on the backside. Smoother will pick it up. Cross ice pass. Now Smoother over to Grant. Grant flips it around 1. He'll dump that in. Now turned over to Grant. Grant fires that one high and wide. And then he takes a high hit. Von Bank slows that one down. Smoother will pick it up and dump it down. Fans over here cheering for a high hit on 2 on Grant. Picked up now by Schaffler. Picks it up. He'll fire. He goes wide in the net. Picked up by Burns. Burns now has it. Flips it back over behind Von Bank. Evenson will hire. That one deflects off of Von Bank's stick and into the neutral zone, and they'll dump it down. And now Schaffler just gets a retaliatory hit, and they're not going to call that. Does it right in front of the official, and they don't call it. Guess we're going to let them play, as they say. This announcer is so talented that he can scratch his wife's back while this is happening. 15 has it. Bulldogs are offside, so we'll have to touch up. Bulldogs touch. Von Bank on the forecheck. 10 gets it up to 16. 16 makes the move around. He's intercepted by Evenson. Pushed all the way over to Smooter. Now Smooter has it. He's got Schaffler on his right. Now feathers it over to Von Bank. That one gets tripped up. And now Smooter will pick it up. Smooter dumps it down. 15 dialed in with Von Bank down there. Schaffler down there as well. Schaffler comes away with it. He'll fire a sharp angle shot. Rebound out front, wraps it around. Now Smooter has it, fires. Block. Another fire, rebound. .702 left. Bulldogs up still 3-2. Out shooting Mankato 18-9. Joining me, making a guest appearance, is color analyst for the varsity Bulldog team, Joe Kane.
Thanks for having me, Andy.
How you doing, Joe?
Good. Honored to be here standing next to your lovely wife right now. So it seems like I'm winning.
Back because I was earlier. It was distracting. Thank you.
Yep.
No, her back, not mine. Puck on a play.
That's the happiest I've seen her in a long time.
Da-da-da.
I'm here all night, folks.
What are your thoughts so far?
Couple Bulldogs definitely outplaying East here to start with 6 minutes left to go in the second. I guarantee Tiago would like to have that first one back. I didn't see the second one, but Bulldogs are definitely playing well.
Yeah, that second goal you're referring to, that went off a point, off a stick, and then it was almost like a knuckleball. It just came straight down right behind him. It was crazy.
Yeah, that's kind of what it looked like, and all of a sudden he looked behind him, and the puck was in the back of the net.
Yep. It's become a pretty physical game, I've noticed, and the referees have not called a single penalty yet. They're swallowing the whistle so far.
Well, if we got these guys for varsity, I don't mind that with how physical our team is.
Right. 6:24 left here. Bulldogs up 3-2. Puck out to the blue line. Now picked up by Bryce.
Bryce looking for the hat trick.
Let's see if we can get that third one. Oh, he fired.
Got in too tight.
Yep, that's exactly what I was just saying. He was a little too shallow in on that one. Now, Mankato will take it back. Icing waved off. Nope, icing called. Meyer going for that third one. Put it in a little bit too tight. And put it right in the belly of the goalie. Grantline will stay out there. Smooter and Evenson on the back end. We were talking earlier. We were saying that for the varsity tonight, this is a big game for them in regards to section seating. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, definitely big game. Honestly, this game alone could probably move you up or down 2 spots in the seedings. You win, you got a very good chance of that 2-3 spot. You lose, you're sitting right in that 4-5 range. So big game tonight for the Bulldogs. Issue is with Mankato East. Both Mankato teams, actually, Ryan, neither one of them have a lot of section games. So this being one of them is a big game for the Bulldogs.
Puck pushed down, Bulldogs touch up, 5:50 left here in period 2. 23 for Mankato. Tried to feather that up to 16. Official called off, so Brock laid off of it, and then he got met in the blue line by a Mankato player. Meyer gets it in the circle, tries to dangle around one. He's tied up by 16 though, and L7 chips that one out of play.
Andy, one thing I noticed walking in here, they have an extremely short bench, just basically running 2 full lines.
Yep. Yeah, I noted that earlier too. They've only got 2 plus 1. And I noticed too the Bulldogs are short a couple players tonight too for JV.
Yeah, I saw that with Grog moving over there on that line with Grant. Oh, give and go. Schaffler just missed Burns coming out front.
Smooter with the puck. Wraps that around. And they're going to call offsides on that one. There have been a ton of icing calls today so far.
Anders looks really comfortable on the back bench next time you pan that way.
He had a rough day in school.
He's taking a nap on the bench over there.
Want to bring him a pillow after the second. Down in the circle, picked up by 4. 4 fires. Thiago makes a blocker save. Rebound goes just wide of the net. 10. Tried to get that over to 12 down deep. Von Bank pinned up against the wall. Now 12 comes in high on Von Bank and takes him out. Smoother has it. Just poked right off of his stick. Over to Schmidt. Schmidt over to Schaffler. Beautiful pass. Schaffler. Oh, he had the goalie out of position. No, Von Bank is there. Oh, the goalie was laying flat. Schaffler fired that right over the net. Burns wraps it back over to Schmidt. Schmidt back over to Burns. Burns makes a move around 1. Now we got Placido and Mankato got going at it. 2 has been going at it. He had a slash on. And 2's going to go. Nope. Offside's calling. 2 was going at it with Schaffler earlier. He gave him a couple good whacks.
Number 2 is not a small man out there.
No, he's got a temper, it looks like, too. Zachariah Lang, a junior defender for them. Placido does a nice job tying up 10. Over to Evenson. Evenson try to get that back over to Phelps. Wrap back around in front of the Bulldog bench. Now we got 3-2 coming this way. And nice job by Schmidt to poke that off of his stick. Phelps has got Gage out front. Knocked off of his stick, though. Now wrapped around to Phelps. Phelps got Gage all alone out front. Had Placido out there, too. Just couldn't get control of the puck. Now that's fired off of the defender for Mankato. Bulldogs touch up. Evenson patiently walks it in. Fire! Oh, and he goes off the crossbar. Evenson has it again. Clearly, I think going high on this goalie is where you want to go. He can play the low one pretty well, but he's given up a lot of good looks up top. Schmidt fires low, stick save. Icing waved off. Evenson will pick it up. 3 minutes left here in period 2. Stretch pass out to Grant. Grant turned it over at center ice. Now picked up by 16. 16 will carry it in. Poked off a his stick nicely by Evenson. Grant throws a shoulder. Thiago makes the save. Rebound pops out. Schmidt. Grant. Grant into the neutral zone. Rob breaks up that pass. And Bulldogs are offsides. That might be what Rain's mom was saying, too. Face off goes all the way down to the Bulldog zone. 2:20 left. Grant line's still out there. Oliver fired. I forgot my iPad.
Well, you could have told me.
Meyer has it. He'll flip that one down. Kicked over. 10.
Even though the Giants did have a couple players out, still were no contest to the Giants of LeSueur.
I heard that they've been eating some pretty good corn around here lately. Those green Giants out here in LeSueur. Hey, who's got the goals here so far, by the way?
Goals tonight.
3 TCU kids, is that what it was? Schaffler with the puck, carries it down. Gets it over to Burns, down deep in his skates. Gets it over to Von Bank. Schaffler has it, loses it. 16 will come away with it, carry it up. Schaffler on a nice back check, takes it off of his stick. Now pushed over to Von Bank, just behind him. 20 now carries it down in the circle. And taking around back behind the net.
There is 1 minute remaining in the second period.
Schmidt over to Burns to Von Bank. Von Bank makes a move around one. He's going to have Schaffler fire low, rebound. Oh,
Good
right
save by the
idea.
goalie. Yep.
Right idea. Shoot low. Hope that Schaffler was on that back door for that rebound. Just goalie ate it up. .51 seconds left. Bulldogs still out shooting Mankato 2-1. 24-13. If you go by the Baker's dozen, that is.
Did you say they're out shooting them 24-13 a Baker's dozen?
Yeah, something like that. Centering out front.
Wow, he's a teacher,
Trying to get
folks.
that to
He
Von
is a
Bank.
teacher, folks.
Easy.
I hope
all the way out
for
the
Apple
other side.
Valley, Burnsville, Apple Valley, you do not teach math.
Oh, but we got the best test scores in the state. Telejohn down there gets it over. And Mankato dumps it down, and they're going to be happy going to the locker room down 1. Bulldogs up 3-2. 2 goals by Bryce Meyer, 1 goal by Gavin Phelps. We'll be back in 15 minutes live from Le Sueur. Welcome back, everybody, to period 3. Bulldogs set to take action here. Hopefully finish what they started. Bulldogs are leading 3-2 going into the third. I want to give out a shout out to the Phelps friends down in Mesa, Arizona today, watching the broadcast from Mesa. Hopefully you guys are doing well down there. We can use some of that warmth. They're expecting highs of about 10 below on Friday, so that's a high air temperature. It'll be cold, so send some of that heat this way, please. We are underway here. Von Bank line out front. Schmidt and Juarez on the back end. Ford makes a move around Juarez. Fires. That one goes off of Tiago's mask. Tiago lost it somewhere in his gear. He's shaking everything. And it was in his blocker. Bounced off the mask and in his blocker. Shots of 24-14 heading into the third. Burns kicks it just aside of his reach. Now Evan Schmidt has it. He'll gear it up. Get it over to Schaffler. Poked off of his stick. And Bulldogs were offsides. Schaffler was off by a foot. That one deflects off of Schaffler. Up on the half wall to Burns. That gets past him. Von Bank fans on that pass. And now Ford will give chase. Juarez right ahead of him. And then Tiago gets a face full of snow. And the net pops off. Mankato's down to 4 skaters on the bench. Puck wrapped in. Now pushed down in the neutral zone by Juarez. Mankato, cross-ice pass. Missed on that one. Icing waved off. Juarez will pick it up. Get it up on the near half wall. Outside of the reach of Phelps. And now pushed up into the neutral zone. Placido lays the wood. On 2 behind the net, or behind the play. Bulldogs onside. Schmidt throws that down deep. Phelps pushes it around the net over to the shield sign, gets it out to Telejohn in the slot. Fans on that pass. Juarez was going to go off on a shift change, so just going to dump that down. Bulldogs touch up. Placido with a hit on 15. Dumped down now by Gage. Kept in by Telejohn. He'll push it back down. Phelps will give chase way outside of his reach, though. And now he picked up on the far wall by 15. Carry down by 15. He puts the brakes on. Evenson knocks him off the puck. Puck loose out in the circle. Picked up now by Grom. Bulldogs have a 2-1. Grom joins for 3-2. And the goalie makes a glove save. 12:45. We're going to have lots of media here today for tonight's game. We've got a Mankato radio station. We got K-Check here. And we will have the Bulldog Television Network here as well with Ryan Phelps and Joe Kane. Juarez fires that one, and that one goes into the coach's bench. Both Charlie and Arlo going up against the wall trying to make the grab, and neither one comes away with it. Well, the face-off down deep. Grant line still out there. Face-off goes back behind the net, picked up by 16. Now Schmidt has it. Gets it over to Grant. Grant over to Grog. Grog up to Meyer. Meyer will kick that to his tape. Make a move around one. Loses the handle. And And then that one, they were onside. A little inconsistent here with the offside call. Grant line out there. Face off one. Juarez comes that down. Meyer will pick it up in the half wall. Sends that across the front of the goalie's face. All the way against the wall. Picked up now by 23. He makes the move around. Thiago steers that one over to Schmidt. Schmidt misplays that one. 16 comes away with it. Carries it in. Makes a move around. Can't get a shot off though. Now Groff comes in. Puck loose out in the slot. Picked up by Juarez. Meyer now has it. He avoids one check. Turns it over though. And now it's turned over in the slot. Four fires. Goes high and wide. Big hit over there by Juarez. Now picked up by Von Bank. Von Bank will carry it down. Lose it. Get it over to Schaffler. Schaffler unable to catch that one. Now it's wrapped all the way around. That'll be picked up by Tristan. Tristan tried to get that over to Schaffler. Intercepted by Von Bank. Now Schaffler able to kick it in. Tries wrist shot. Knocked off of his stick. Now Schaffler works it over to Von Bank. Von Bank gets over to Burns. Burns can't get the trigger pulled off. Gets caught in skates. Back over to Burns. Burns over to Telejohn. He'll fire. That one gets on net. Threw it into the skate of two. Now kicked out in neutral zone. Two will carry it down. He's got a guy with him. He'll fire. Thiago with the glove save. 10:31 left here in period 3. Bulldogs holding on to a 1-goal lead. Schmidt line out there. Joe joins the conversation again, so he'll chime in here periodically. Gage Schmidt out there along with Ethan Evenson and Evan Schmidt. Oh, Tristan Telejohn on the back end. 10 has it. Tried to get it out the point, knocked off of his stick. Now Evenson will wrap that around. Kicked up. And Telejohn pinned up against the wall with 13 there. Gage comes down to help out. Gage will come away with it. And kicked out into the neutral zone. Self-proof chase, knocked off of his stick. Mankato will be offside, so he'll have to touch up. Gage has it. Gets it over to Placido. Placido touches that one in. 9:50 left here in period 3. Placido gets hit back behind the net. Telejohn now has it at the point. Two other Bulldogs there, unable to hold it in. Bulldogs touch up once again. Mankato goalie steers it. Phelps down there, applying pressure on the forecheck. Kept in by Grant. Big hit by Placido back there.
Oh.
They have not called a single penalty.
Yeah, it could have been one there, Andy.
And now he just comes and retaliates. 10 does. And then he moves to the head. And now we got all this tomfoolery going on.
Yeah, Andy, I changed my mind. Maybe I don't want these guys for a varsity game because they are not calling anything. Somebody will definitely get hurt.
Yep.
Phelps tried to pick his stick up. Somebody just stepped on it, and then the other guy kicked it out of the way. Number 7 on their team took a run at somebody, one of our players, behind the net. So, yeah, like we talked second period, I hope we do not have these guys, though.
Unfortunately, I think you will have some of them. Now Juarez just takes a hit. And slash. Picked up now by Meyer. Meyer fires that one off the shin guards, and then he loses an edge. 23 now, gets it back to Meyer. Meyer chips that up the dog, and that'll be an icing call. I think both benches realize, too, that anything goes at this point.
Yep.
8:45 left. We're going to have competition on Media Row here today, Joe. Do you see who's all
I
coming?
see, yeah, we got, I think, one setting up behind us. We got 2 radios. And then Ryan Phelps, Joe Kane coming to you on YouTube.
Puck.
That's going to probably have over a couple hundred views before the game's out.
Absolutely. Burns over Schaffler. Schaffler fires. Goalie makes the save. Nice breakout by that group. 8:27 left here in period 3. Shot 29-16 in favor of the Bulldogs. Joe, I don't know if you looked over at their bench. They're down to 4 skaters on the bench now.
I'm going to go kind of set my thing up, Andy, because I don't trust them to not take my spot.
Nope, good idea. Schaffler fires that one, goes up into the netting. We'll have another face-off. Schaffler tied up. Braden tried to get that over to Burns. Now it gets out to Evenson. Evenson fires. That's a blocker save into the netting.
You're not going to be able to sit here. No. Nope.
I won't even try that.
I wouldn't even try.
Puck wraps around on the far side. Evenson ships that one up into the netting. Evenson has the puck. Picked up. Now picked up by Phelps. Gets that over to Gage. Phelps backhands that one back behind the net. 7:40 left here in period number 2 or 3. Now Telejohn has it. Deflects off front. I think that deflected off a Mankato player and in.
Who got it?
Oh, Phelps is saying he tipped it. Phelps is taking credit for that one. And just like that, puts the Bulldogs up 4-2 with 7:39 left here. Show up top. The top one, there you go. Puck pushed down.
Scoring for the Bulldogs. His second of the game by number 2, Gavin Phelps. To the assist to number 27, Tristan Telejohn. That's Phelps from Telejohn for the Bulldogs at 7:21.
Oh, big goal for the Bulldogs there, Andy.
That was well needed. We needed that with this time left. Centering out front. Now Gage fired.
Oh!
Gage had to square up and he fired. Gave the goalie a little time to set
that your
up on
Schmidt?
that one.
The other Schmidt. That's what I thought. You would have buried it, right?
Put it right in the goalie's belly. Grant line out there. Evan Schmidt and Jacob. Jacob settles the bouncing puck, fires a low one. Then Grog takes a hit by 23. Carried out. Jumps in by 4. Ooh, big hit over there in the corner by 4. No call again. 4 centers it out front. Thiago with a big save. Jacob was a little stunned on that one, I think. He's getting back into play, though. Friars comes down, fires off the blocker. Grog gets the rebound. Puck loose. And Grant puts it in. Good hustle by those boys.
Ever since I came back on the radio, Andy, it's been nothing but good luck here.
It's a beautiful thing. Grant with the goal, Grog with the primary, and then Meyer with the secondary, I think. Bulldogs up 5-2 with 6:24 left. Puck dumped off the glass. Down into the Bulldog zone, picked up by Schmidt.
25, Brandon Brennan. With the assist to number 28, and number 20, Bryce Meyer. That's Brett from Gilligan Meyer, River Bulldogs at 8:36 of this third period.
Meyer has the puck, gets it over to Grant, or Von Bank. Von Bank tried to get that over to Grog. Now it's stumped down, picked up by Evan. Evan stumped that down, slowed down, and wrapped back around. Picked up now by Telejohn. Telejohn loses the handle, gets it over to Schaffler. Schaffler loses the handle. Telejohn. Evenson had to wait for Juarez to clear. Evenson now has the puck. Drops it over to Schaffler. Schaffler walks it down, fires, blocker, save. And Telejohn will pick it up. Telejohn loses the handle.
East is getting tired, Andy.
Yeah, they got guys getting double shift.
Some barking dogs out there. How can a town this size only have 1.5 varsity teams?
Well, and the thing is, big hit. Why is that not from behind?
The thing is what, Andy?
You got such a great youth program. I mean, their Bantam team this year is number 3 in the state. Schaffler carries it down. He'll fire, blocker, save off the crossbar. And yet they can't. They have one high school that can't field a team. The 2 teams.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Schaffler. Stevenson. Push hooked up. Schmidt drops down. He gets knocked off the puck. And pushed out through the center of the blue line. Stevenson up to Placido. Placido will carry it down. Burns will have it. He'll fire. Puts that right on the goalie's mask and the save is made.
Little brother Burns would have had no issue putting that one away. I don't know if you guys know this, but found out today who the best athlete in the family is. Not only is he a skater on the Pee Wee team, he also played goalie. Mr. Garrett Burns allowed 1 goal in the game. Garrett, can you tell me about the game? What happened? How'd your team do?
Good.
Good. And? You don't know. So you didn't play goalie or did you play goalie?
I did.
Okay. And how did you do?
Good.
How many goals you let in?
1.
1. And how many saves?
13.
Okay. Thanks, Garrett, for the one-word answer. It means a lot. You did great. So, Garrett Burns, the star athlete of the Burns family.
Gets it all from his mother, right? The first penalty is called on Gage Schmidt for a cross-check with 3:24 left. That'll put the Bulldogs on the kill. Interesting that was the one that gets called.
Yes, very, very interesting.
Bulldogs will send out Grant, Phelps, Schmidt, and Juarez.
Struggling down there to put penalties up.
There we go. We're all set. One thing the Bulldogs have been doing a fantastic job this year is the penalty kill. It's been outstanding.
Bulldogs, number 35, Gage Schmidt. 2-minute minor for cross-checking. That's Schmidt for cross-checking at 11:36.
15 works it in. Juarez rides him up against the wall. Pin it up down there. Now Juarez does a great job. Fires that one right on net. They've got their wing on the blue, 2 forwards on the red, and then a wing on the blue. And they are just persistent at that blue line. Mankato fires that one high and wide. Next is passed. Now Phelps will get chase. He's got 2 already today. He's looking for that third. He'll carry it back around the net. Smartly.
Oh, I thought he was skating with his head down. I thought it was 15 was going head hunting for him.
Great job by Gavin up against the wall there. That one's dumped down. Thiago will slow that one. Evenson will pick it up, and he'll flip that down. Loosen the skates of a player at the center line. Picked up by Evenson. 30 seconds left in Gage Schmidt's penalty. Wrap back all the way around. Evenson will give chase. He's down there with 23. Grant took a swing at it, couldn't get it out. Nice poke check by Evenson. And he'll bag that one off the glass. And that should kill the penalty. 8 seconds left in the power play.
Bulldogs are at full strength.
Telejohn has the puck. He's got Schmidt, Placido, and Burns out there. Schmidt takes a hit down by the shield sign, and Mankato will fire that one on net.
There is 1 minute remaining in the third period.
Telejohn try to get that to Placido, intercept it. Now Burns has it. Over to Evenson. Evenson. Bulldogs had to touch up. Telejohn over to Evenson. Over to Schmidt. Schmidt fires. That one goes wide. Placido down low. 30 seconds left. Bulldogs up 5-2. And that one goes all the way down, and we'll get an icing call with 20 seconds left. Joe, any final thoughts before we sign her off?
No, I mean, I got privilege of talking to the best-looking, most athletic Burns son, and then the other one that likes the Packers, that where I heard was crying for once the team lost for a while. So it was a good night.
That was a good night. 10 seconds left here in the game. Flores has it. Puts that up to try to get that to Burns. That'll be just about it. And that's a victory for the Bulldogs. 5-2 up shooting. Mankato East 39-18. Bulldogs will be in action Friday night against the other Mankato team, Mankato West. Tune in here in about a half hour to see the broadcast from Ryan Phelps and Joe Case live from the sewer as they play against the Mankato East varsity Cougars. Until then, everybody, have a good evening.
Just 1 penalty in the